Hello, you beautiful naughty creatives, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Selassie, and I'm back at you with another naughty tutorial. I just wanted to take the time to thank you guys so much for being patient, and I appreciate the fact that you guys have still been rocking with me. Let's go ahead and bring out the tutorial that we're going to be working on today. This is super gorgeous top, super comfortable. It's actually a triangle shape here. Okay, this is it, just the simple granny triangle that I've just worked up a little differently just so it can have that textured sort of look, super gorgeous colorways, and it definitely is something that you can dress up or down. So you can work it up in any sort of way. And here I'm just going ahead and showing you guys what it looks like from the side view. Definitely, if you're excited for this piece and ready to get into making your own, make sure that you give me a thumbs up and comment down in the description if you've ever made a top like this with that triangle sort of shape, and let me know how you guys liked it. This is definitely my first time making this, but I'm definitely so in love. And with that being said, thanks so much, guys. I'm super grateful for you because we are at 1,000 freaking subscribers. Okay, 1,000 subscribers. And if you are new here, I'm so thankful that you came to watch my tutorial. Definitely like the video and make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Let's get right into the tutorial. For the tools, you need a 5.5mm hook, your scissors, darning needle, and of course the most important part, your yarn. Okay, so in this piece here I'm going to be working with a rainbow set of colors here. So we've got the red, the pink, this is sort of like an orangish gold, and we've got a light pastel yellow, green, royal blue, and purple. So this is a great project for you know, scrap yarn and things like that. I was just really trying to get rid of a lot of yarn that I have, so this is great for that. Go ahead, grab your first color, and I'll zoom in for you. We will be using a magic circle for this, so in order to do that, just grab your first two fingers, wrap the yarn around one time, and then when you go all the way around and meet the other end, just crisscross it over. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that in slow-mo just so you guys can see it better. So now that you have that crisscross effect, just go ahead and put your hook under, grab a loop up, and then make a chain. And that pretty much just secures your knot so that it does not get unraveled. Then you want to go ahead and chain 2, and this will count as your first double crochet. Alright, so now go ahead and yarn over, and we're going to add 3 more double crochets into that loop, into the magic circle, to make a total of 4. Okay, so that is 4 double crochets there. You want to go ahead and chain 2, and then put another 4 double crochets into that same magic circle. Once you've done that, just go ahead and pull on your string. Okay, and that will bring your project closer together, so it should be looking like this for you. Alrighty, and what you want to do at the end, just make sure that you have the last 2 loops on the hook from the previous color that we just did, because we are going to be changing colors, so I'll show you guys how to do that. So you want to grab your next color and then pull that through the 2 loops that were just previously on your hook. and I like to just crochet the end piece along with the project, just so it helps it to be secure even more. So once you've done that, go ahead and turn your work, and we are actually going to be crocheting into not the chain space, but the actual space in between the double crochets. So you're going to be putting 3 more double crochets into that space. Okay, that's the first one. Add 2 more. Now what we're going to do, we're not going to chain 1 or anything like that. We're actually just going to go into that chain 2 space from the previous row, and we're going to do the same thing that we just did for that first starting row. So you're going to add 3 double crochets into that chain 2 space, chain 2, and add 3 more double crochets. And that is actually going to be one of the pieces of the project that repeats throughout. Okay, and then now when you come back to the other side, we are going to add 3 double crochets into that in between that double crochet space there. Once you add your 3, you're going to move those double crochets over, and then we're going to add our 4th double crochet into the actual chain. So you might have to wiggle it through just because it might be a little tight there, but you'll get it. And just go ahead and place a double crochet there, and remember, you're only going to finish the first part of that double crochet because we are going to be changing colors. Alright, so this is what your project should be looking like so far. Cute little triangles. So now go ahead and grab your next color, and then you're going to go ahead and use that to end off that previous row's double crochet, chain 1 to secure, and then chain 2 more, and this always counts as your first double crochet. Turn your work, and we are going to repeat what we just did. So add 3 double crochets into that space of the double crochets, not in the actual chain. And now you're just going to go ahead into that very next space that you see. We're not going to be working yet into the actual stitches. We're actually going to be working into the spaces as of right now. And you just want to add 3 double crochets there. Alright, and then when we come to that that chain 2 space there again, we're going to be doing the same thing. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into that same space. Alrighty, now we're going to go over to that next space, add 3 more double crochets, and then at the end add 3 more before that last double crochet from the previous row. Alrighty, and then that 4th double crochet is going to go into the actual chain or stitch that you have there. Alrighty, so you don't want to close it all the way off. Okay, so now here's where we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So once you close it off and change your color, you're going to chain 2 more, and then now what we're actually going to be doing is going into each stitch until we get to that chain 2 space. So you're just going to double crochet into each stitch. You're going to skip that first stitch right there, because that chain 3 that we did counts as a double crochet. So you're just going to go ahead and go directly into the next stitch and double crochet, and you're just going to do that all the way until into every stitch until you get to that chain 2 space. The chain 2 is that chain 2 space is actually one piece of the pattern that stays consistent throughout. So when we get there, you'll see exactly what I mean. Okay, so now we are at that chain 2 space. So go ahead and we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing the previous row. So add 3 double crochets into that space, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. Now you have to make sure that when you add that last double crochet, you move it over a little bit, just so that you don't miss that chain that is right next to that chain 2 space. And then you're just going to go ahead and repeat and double crochet all the way into each stitch. So the way that I made this pattern here, what we're going to be doing for the first 3 rows, if you guys notice, we were doing the granny triangles, and then for the next 3 rows, the next 2 after this one, once we change colors, we're just going to be repeating the same exact thing. So we're going to be putting the double crochet into each stitch. Alright, so you're gonna put it into each stitch until you get to the chain 2 space. I will let you guys see though how I do this next row, so you guys can get a hang of it for that last row that we have to do just like this. So again, once you chain 3, you turn your work, then you're going to double crochet into each stitch until you get to that chain 2 space. I'll meet you guys back here once we get to the chain 2 space. And make sure that you guys don't forget that last stitch right before the chain 2. It looks like there's not a stitch there, but there is. And again, once you get to the chain 2 space, just go ahead and add 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets all into that space. And make sure you also don't miss that that stitch that is right there next to that chain. Alright, go ahead and double crochet all the way down. So yeah guys, just repeat that all the way down, and then don't forget to do your color change, and then do the same thing for the next row, and then just add that 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the chain 2 space, and then double crochet all the way down, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, awesome. So I did that 3rd row there, and this is what you should be looking like. Definitely loving it already. Like, I love it. If you guys love the colors that I chose and like the way that your project is looking so far, definitely make sure that you like and comment what types of colors that you guys are using. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, do another color change, chain 1, and add 2 more, and that counts as that first double crochet. And now we're going to go back to what we did in the beginning. So in that space right there for the double crochet, not the actual stitch, but that space, go ahead and add 3 more double crochets. We're going back to making like the double crochet granny look. So once you do that, you're actually going to go ahead and skip 3 double crochets. So skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and then go back into that space, and we're going to add 3 more double crochets. So we're going back to the look from the beginning, those first 3 rows. So you just want to keep skipping 3s and adding 3 double crochets into the space. All right, so skip 3 and then add 3 double crochets into the space. And the great thing about this is once I actually did start working on this pattern, it works seamlessly, because once you actually get to that chain 2 space, you'll see that the numbers are completely even, so it works out perfectly no matter what size that you're trying to make. So there you go, you see there's only 3 chains left. And then now to that chain 2 space, we're going to be doing the same thing. Add 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into that space. And once you do that, just go ahead and skip 3 again and 3 more double crochets. Alright, so go ahead and keep skipping 3 and doing that till you get to the end. At the very end though, it will look a bit different because you're actually going to have 4 stitches left, but it will actually make sense once we get there. So definitely don't worry or feel like you have to take out your work or frog or anything like that, okay? Alright, so this is where I was talking about. You're going to have 4 left. You want to go ahead and skip the 3 like you've been doing, and then add 3 double crochets in that space. And then what you're going to do is push that over and add your last double crochet into the top of that stitch, on top of that double crochet, okay? So this is what your work should be looking like now. Definitely loving it. Yeah, so that's what your work should be looking like at this point. And then you're just going to go ahead and switch your next color and then do the same thing. So you should have 3 rows of the square type of shape, and then you should have 3 rows of just the regular double crochets all throughout each stitch. Just make sure when you get to that chain 2 space, you add 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So yeah guys, at this point it's pretty much just a repeat of the same thing. So you're going to have again 3 rows of the way that you started in the beginning with the granny square, and then you're also going to have 3 rows of just regular double crochet in each stitch. So you're just going to repeat that all the way until the end. Alright, and if you need to guys, you can just always rewind the video just so you guys can, you know, when you do get to each different portion, just so you guys can see how it starts and ends, since it is a little bit different for those 2 parts. Okay, so I definitely hope that makes sense, especially with how I'm showing you guys here. So let's go ahead and keep going, and I will go ahead and meet you guys back here once I am done with all my rows. Alright, and I'll show you guys what we have to do in the end to finish up. So yeah, be back with you guys here soon. Alright guys, so now I am done with all of my rows, and what I actually decided to do here, we are actually going to be working on the border now. So the one thing that I wanted to show you guys is that for me, my height is about 5'5". So when you guys look right here, you're going to see that I ended off with just 2 rows of going into each stitch with a double crochet instead of 3. The reason why I did that is because my last row that I'm actually going to be using, which will be my border row, I'm actually going to be doing that one in black. So that's where I'm going to be ending off my piece. Alright, so instead of doing 3 rows right there, I just did 2 and then use my border row as the last 3rd row, if that makes sense. And actually for that 3rd row, I'm not going to do it the same way. I'm actually going to go back and do it the way that I was doing the granny block look. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing that is actually because once you do that all the way around, it gives you the ability to actually put your ties into any portion technically of the spaces, just so you can get a better fit. Okay, so this last row here, this is the border row. I'm just going to do it the same way that I was doing the sections with the granny square. Okay, so skip 3 and add 3 double crochets. All right, so you're just going to go ahead and repeat that through. And if you're making this for yourself or anyone else, you know, all you want to do is just make sure that the bottom, the width of the pattern goes to you know, their measurements as far as their waist or hip, wherever they want the project to hit for them. As long as it is the width of the measurement that they give you or your measurement, then you'll be fine. Even if it's just a little bit smaller than the full width, I would make it just a little bit smaller than their actual size, maybe by an inch or 2 inches, because once it actually closes up and you have those ties, it's actually going to fill in the gap for you. Okay, so yeah, again, you have those four double crochets left. I'm going to skip the 3, add 3 double crochets, and then move it over and add that last double crochet into that actual stitch. Now from there, you want to go ahead and chain 1, because we're going to be doing covering up that single crochet twice where there's a double crochet. So each double crochet that you see, you're just going to add 2 single crochets. All the way until you get to the other side. Then once you get to the end, don't forget that last double crochet. All right, once you do your last single crochet, then just go ahead and slip stitch. There you go. And then chain 1. And now go ahead and cut off your excess yarn and pull that through and pull just to tighten. So this is what your project will be looking like as of right now. And now all we have to do is work on the ties. And in order to work on the ties, what we're going to be doing is working in that middle section there with those 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So put it through that first double crochet and bring it out of that last double crochet. So just go ahead and make the chain whatever length is going to work for you, and also whatever length is going to be depending on how wide the project is, so that you know your customer or whoever you're making for, even if it's for yourself, so that you have enough room to crisscross the tie on your back, and you know, to put it in the loops, and have enough room to have some excess hanging off. I did a chain between 120 to 140. Once you are done, just go ahead and cut off your yarn and then pull up a loop. Okay, so we've got that first string done. The reason I like that is just because it's a little bit more sturdy now that we went through you know, two stitches there. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So put it through that first double crochet and bring it out of that last double crochet. Add your yarn and then go ahead and do the same number of chains that you did on the other side. Alrighty, and I will meet you guys after you're done with the chains. Okay, great. So now we are done with the ties. Okay, and now all you just have to do is weave in your ends. Okay, so just go ahead and grab your darning needle and go ahead and weave in your ends. But yeah guys, I definitely love this project so much. I actually named it Sagaia just because it just brings me alive, you know, with all these colors. You can't help but to feel happy, get your energy right, your mood right, make sure you're looking super cute, sassy, fun, flirty, comfy, you know. It has a great shape, great fit, and super comfortable. So yeah, I hope you guys love it. And now what I'm just going to do, now that we're done with the ties, we're just going to be adding some little tassels here at the end. So for that, you just want to grab a couple of the colors that you have. All right, for this one right here, I'm grabbing four different colors. Yeah, I'll just make them about 3 inches that you're cutting, about 2 to 3 inches. Okay, then you're just going to go ahead and fold those. Grab your hook, all right, and just insert your hook into that first stitch, or that last stitch actually. Then pull up all those pieces of yarn. Make sure you grab the end of that the tie, so grab that black yarn as well. Okay, I'm just gonna let you guys see what I'm doing here. I'm just using my fingers to grab all those pieces and to just pull them through, and then you just make sure you tighten each one individually. All right, so there you go, simple as that. And now I'm just going ahead and doing the same thing, grabbing the other colors that were in this project and adding that to the other side. I love colors, you know, I'm African and we're all about colors and, you know, bright colors and everything like that. So if you guys aren't really into the bright colors, that's completely fine. The great thing about this project is you can make it, you know, based on your mood, based on the weather, whatever suits you, you can go ahead and do it based on that. That way you guys can make sure that it's comfortable and, you know, unique to you. I definitely love making pieces that are unique to anyone who wears them, no matter your size, shape, ethnicity, or anything like that. So now that we've got those here, you're just going to go ahead and, you know, make sure that the length is good and just clip off the excess. Alrighty, so we've got our ends done in, and this is your finished project. Okay, super cute. I am loving it, loving it, loving it. And just a quick little show how you guys, what I was talking about earlier with being able to put the tie through no matter what the size. That's why I ended up doing that last row like this, so that you could put the tie through on any end and make sure that it has a good snug fit for you. Okay, showing you guys how to do that, and you can put it through any one of those. That's going to make sure that you have the best fit. So yeah guys, this is Sagaia. This is the crop tutorial here, and if you guys love this tutorial and would love more you know, simple yet textured and cute patterns like this, you know, just make sure you drop a comment down in the description box. Give me a thumbs up if you like this, and you know, make sure you follow me on social media. I will drop all of that into the description box. Again, thank you guys so much for staying with me, for being patient with me while, you know, I've been having all these technical difficulties. I am so grateful for you all. And yeah guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Not to love.